Hey, hello everybody. Welcome again to another episode of Creative Minds. Got Brian here as your host today. Long week. How's everything been going, y'all? Gerard, how you been?
I've been good. Just been a very long week. Tiresome, but there's quite a lot going on. At the top of my mind is the fact that the Central African Republic has actually approved Bitcoin as a legal tender.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
that's very interesting. Alongside, I believe, El Salvador
Yep.
uh, are very close to doing something of that nature, but Central African Republic is the first African country to basically have that approval. Actually, go through the political offices, and it was approved. So it's interesting to see how that's going to pan out. Especially as the country is not really that strong or powerful when it comes to economic, despite its mineral.
That's amazing. Africa's gonna thrive in the cryptocurrency. Like,
Yeah.
Emilio, how you been, man?
Yeah, man. Another week, man, and incredible stuff's been happening around, with the crypto space, and the the talk of everybody right now with the Elon Musk. But that's great, man. What's happening with Africa? Another uh, powerhouse, also. You know what I mean? When we're talking about like as a continent, something I would speak with you art about that how. It's one of the only continents in the world where they could really sustain themselves with everything because the resources are all home. Like everything that Africa has, everybody wants or wants a piece of or is getting out of. So Africa already itself is a powerhouse. They just gotta find a way to kind of come together and really take over what they really know they really have. You know what I mean? I believe that if they come together, they could become a bigger powerhouse more than China. But we're talking years ahead from now. But yeah, I mean that's great that they're doing the crypto stuff. You already see what's happened even with Akon back. I heard a while back that he wanted to go out there to his hometown, which is Senegal, I believe is part of Africa, and he wanted to make a part of you know of Senegal, I believe, where it's all cryptocurrency based.
Yeah.
So even then, that talk already has been in existence. So that's pretty dope, man. What Africa is doing, and trying to really join into what's going on, and hopefully, they do wake up because we want everybody to be, what I mean, on the up and up. You know what I mean? You don't want to see all the stuff that's going and happening around countries, communism, everything. You know what I mean? In-house stuff, but hopefully, you know what I mean. We'll see some changes, in the future.
Yeah.
Yep. I am loving all this talk about crypto, even across the world, because that legitimizes everything. If once people start seeing all these different nations and all this, everybody has to come suit, and it's gonna bring more money into the pot. Still have hearing people say, "Yeah, investing in cryptocurrency." Like, no,
Yeah,
I'm still gonna keep my money in my savings account, which
yeah.
is
Yeah,
crazy.
we have to think about it. We have to think about it
Yeah.
in this way, and this is for everybody, even the people that are heavily more in like the tech more than the crypto. I want you to think about it this way. Think of all the people that missed out on the .com era. You know what I
Mm.
mean? All that boom right there. So the people that were talking crazy and talking about, hey man, this is what's next right now. You look at, who owns the Maverick Dallas. You know what I mean? You look at, Elon Musk. They all started around this time that made something out of it, and they are the ones who are already billionaires now. You know what I mean? So you look at it this way. Honestly, is the people who started in the beginning of the .com era and with the computer and all that stuff in the beginning are the ones really leading different things, and now, you know what I mean. So with this crypto, we have to honestly open the eyes to anybody who don't know anything about it, so that just could jump on board even with a few dollars and just dip into it, because this is the future. You know what I mean? Honestly, this is the future. We're seeing it little by little. This is the infancy stage. You know what I mean? And I can't even wait for the next 10 years, honestly. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Even if I have $5, those $5 could turn to 500 in 10 years. And that's with me not doing nothing, just leaving it there. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
exciting.
Yeah, I also got some little exciting. This gonna kind of be a little mix of stock and crypto news. The market's kind of crazy this week as well. Dropped over like 2%. So,
Yeah.
a lot of wallets. I'm sorry, not wallets. Portfolios are red right now. Bleeding all week. Hoping the blood
Yeah.
stops tomorrow. But kind of better news. Just talking about more, countries and states. Also, we also got Fort Worth, Texas. They're mining Bitcoin in City Hall now. They got the IT department developing mining cryptocurrency right there in City Hall. Legitimizing it. Texas preparing the section themselves off from the U.S. I guess they see it writing on the wall.
Oh man.
So, what do y'all think about that?
You know, it's just interesting when I look at the timeline, right? How things have just been moving exponentially after the deals that crypto.com has done, and then the Bitcoin conference. So there's quite a lot that has actually developed from there, quite a lot of momentum, right? I would say, because when you see people like Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, going to these conferences and really putting their foot into this thing, there's a lot of opportunity here, right? And they are not the only ones. I am pretty sure that uh, um, the institutional investors, or it could be the Saudi funds, they are probably watching. They are just waiting for that right moment to be able to jump in. And that's going to happen when they feel that their investment is safe. And that's only going to happen when there's regulation. So, with the with Texas, mining, crypto, it just basically shows how they are really, really trying to be at the game. Just piggybacking on what Emilio said, it's really those people that are really getting in now that are gonna have that leg room to be able to take advantage or have a better position. Right? So it's all about going in now and figuring out, some of the kinks and trying to be ahead of the game. Everybody else who is going to be coming later on when everyone would have already kind of settled or have footing or have their background set, right, or the foundation. So it's just interesting for me. I just love it when I hear stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like now, I could tell we're still so early. Like the things that I've been noticing for a long time. A lot of people do not realize like certain things that's happening in the news that like we're watching because we're in the space. But like people didn't even know about like the LeBron James and his cryptocurrency deal. A lot of people didn't even. They're not they don't pay attention to like the floor ring of UFC and people coming out with crypto.com shirts on, and they're like now they're asking questions like, oh, okay, why are they all wearing these shirts now?
Yeah,
Everybody's starting to realize, and and we know this was been seen like 6 months ago, but people are now just starting to wake up and say, oh, okay, they're advertising this crypto pretty heavily now.
yeah, yeah,
So it's a lot of good change coming on to everybody.
Yeah, and it's crazy how we just talked about, you said Africa, now you talked about Fort Worth. Now
Yeah,
the next thing I believe is like your 401ks now, right? You have
yeah,
people that have the 401ks. Now you have like Fidelity that have like these these vehicles for you to retire. Now within those vehicles you're able to, have stocks or like have money put in for you and the crypto also. And that's a game changer also if you really look at it, because now that everybody's like depending on more like the stocks and whatever. I mean, we know that the stocks and crypto, they go hand in hand, but to have at least certain amount of money kind of being playing around with crypto, that's something else, you know what I mean?
mhm,
So and that's a any how can I say, like a regular Joe, honestly. You know what I mean? At work, that when you're filling out the paper, okay, so where do you want to have your money at? You want to have it in this type of stocks or these type of ETFs, whatever it is that now they're gonna have a line for crypto, and I'm sure they're gonna probably ask, even if they don't know, they're probably gonna be like, "What is this?" There's always gonna be that one person, you
mhm.
know what I mean, a Hispanic or whatever the case might be, is gonna ask, "What does this mean, crypto?" And hopefully they just wind up saying, "You know what? Let me just try it," and something happens at the end. So I mean, that those are game changers that we're seeing right now in this space right now.
yeah,
Absolutely. And Emilio, just to piggyback what you already said, remember back in 2020 when the pandemic, I'm sorry, 2020 when the pandemic first started, people were, that's when Bitcoin was hitting like 20K for per coin. And
Yeah,
people, and then those heavily investors, they were like, hey, how can I get some of this Bitcoin in my portfolio? And then none of the banks could respond. They were all like, Bank of America,
yep,
JP Morgan, they was like, oh, we're not doing cryptocurrency.
yeah, yeah,
And they had just missed out on that huge wave on that ride up to 20. I
yep,
yeah,
think it went from like 10K to like 20, or like it was like pretty much
easy,
overnight.
yeah,
And they were all like, hey, why weren't you smart investors, or you people say y'all running these managing our portfolios, y'all missed this wave.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
so
Yep.
now everybody's on the game now. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we see it now. I mean, even the Goldman Sachs, I believe, is actually
yep.
looking into that. If not, they're already doing it, I believe, if I'm not mistaken when I read that. But we're looking at all these type of things that, it's moving from when we first started this, channel and stuff like that, and talking about this. A lot has happened since then, and we're barely on our, fifth to sixth, fifth month, let's just say. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So that's incredible for us. On us also, I want to give us a round of applause for us just to still be doing this, and we're doing it once a week. So I mean, we already been putting content out, and I believe that more content we put in, eventually more people will catch on to whatever it is that we talk about. Maybe something that's more relatable. Like we say, it's all for the average Joe, just how we are. You know what I mean? We're starting with this, and just go ahead and pass this information to somebody else, and let them know, hey, the creative mind guys, they onto something. So let your people know for real. If not,
Absolutely.
tell them to come on to the show.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just want to just say that last episode we had what's who was it from Zifra?
So
Uh,
from Cifra, we had a longtime friend, Laura
Laura.
Cabellos.
Lot
Laura.
of
Yeah.
Yeah, she's an
So that
executive
was
out there.
great. Yeah. If anybody hasn't watched that episode, it's the previous one. Please check it out just to learn how Zifra is really getting into this space, what they are doing. It's a marketing style that they have, but they are kind of putting in some cryptocurrency, some other methods of you know making some revenue, which can be passive, in a way. But it's just good. I'll just let you to go back and just watch the video, watch the episode, and just analyze it for
Yeah,
yourself. Yeah.
definitely. And just to kind of piggyback what you said real quick is, anybody who is actually interested in what she really said or anything like that, I believe we have a link in the description for that. And if you have more questions towards that, go ahead and ask us out, and then we get in contact with her also. But I believe, you know what I mean. It should be kind of simple to kind of get to her. But we'll be more than happy to help you out also. You know what I mean. I ended up investing with the company, so I seen something happening right there. So any question you guys have, hope I'll be able to help you guys out, or my people right here will help you guys out too.
absolutely. That is a good video from last week, you guys. So definitely you want to take a look at that. So you guys, we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna come right back. So bear with us. We'll see you guys
Yep.
right after the commercial break.
Alrighty.
Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back. We're returning back to the episode. Got some very interesting topic. Again, everybody, we just want to encourage everybody to hit that like button. I hear that you might get some free crypto one day if you get the like button. That's what they say. But yeah, you guys, I kind of very want to talk about this Elon Musk right now. Basically he's I don't know if he's buying up Twitter or he had or he's not bought it yet, but there's some serious talk about what's going on. And really, I know you've been really looking into it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna take about maybe the next 6 months before it's actually finalized. But even because there's so many talks about like the actual money of being put up there. I mean, I guess I'm not sure 100%. I think they're going by his word. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Because of what he has and certain things that he needs to put up cash, but
mm,
he needs to liquidate first certain things to get to that money, to that amount of money. So it's in the air whether he's gonna take investors. You know what I mean with him at to kind of help them bridge that gap. I mean, we know that he could afford it, but to be finalized, it's not yet. That's when, because when he becomes it becomes private. That means that whoever owns Twitter, a fractional share or an actual share, like I own a share or fractional shares of Twitter, that means that I will no longer have that. You know what I mean? In my possession no more, it will become obsolete. So that means that's when they go into a private sector already. So we won't know, until the hits. You know what I mean? So there's still a lot of talk about it. You know what I mean? It's pretty like up in the air, but something I was, just talking to, Gerard also, just how we looked at what happened with Tesla. How he said he was going to go and take it private. He didn't end up making that happen. We look at what happened with him and becoming or getting a seat on the board, and last minute he just kind of didn't. So we're not sure, you know what I mean, with Elon Musk. At the same time, he, what I mean, hopefully it does happen, and when it does, we got to see what he does and bring to the table. You know what I mean? Because I know he has a lot on his hands, but what I have noticed about Elon Musk is that he's a disruptor of industries. And what I mean by that is when you look at, when you come into the car industry, nobody expected Tesla to be what Tesla is right now. People, after he started becoming who he was becoming with Tesla, they wanted him to kind of not become what it became, and he still did it. So he disrupted that industry. He became number one, the whole so forth, and whatever's been happening. Then you have, what I mean, the space program, what I mean, disrupting that, what I mean. And back in the day, NASA was, it still held, what I mean, to that standard, what I mean. But now all you hear more is SpaceX. So you look at that, and that's just one person, Elon Musk, behind there, all this. Now you look at social media, what I mean, the platforms. Now you hearing Elon Musk. You look at Jeff Bezos when he acquired the Washington Post. So now you have billionaires, owning these type of platforms. They're already like, what I mean, being able to control certain aspects, what I mean, on their, whatever it is that they have, going on. So I just want to see what's going to happen next. You know what I mean? Oh, and another thing, you look at the crypto world. You see how much he's been disrupting that. With just his talks, with just his late night show, with just him talking about what I mean, the Dogecoin. I was excited, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was excited. I even dumped more money into it, and then what happened? It went down. But you never know what happens with him. You know what I mean? So we just gotta kind of weigh it out, and hopefully, what I mean, probably he puts a Doge or does something with crypto combined with Twitter, because I mean, now you got to think about it. If it does happen and it realizes, once he has a private company, what I mean, he pretty much could do a lot, what I mean, towards that company. So you could change up certain things. Hey, you know what? You could send from one person to another person, wallet to wallet. I mean, he could do so much with that company, Twitter, and make it become number one, and maybe bump more than what uh what is that? I can't say TikTok, because that's another conversation I will have in a bit. But you have what is that, Snapchat, what I mean, they're gonna go up there, what I mean.
Yeah. Um,
What I mean, it's gonna get up there to a point where like they're untouchable, and he could do that, what I mean.
Yeah.
Because like I said, every industry that he's been touching, for some reason he built something off of it, whether it's the Dogecoin or whatever, or the car or the space. He's gonna do something if he does, what I mean. So we should expect something pretty big with that.
Yeah, and I've heard Elon Musk a lot, like express his disgust or kind of distaste with having a lot of his stuff on the stock market. Like I've seen him want to say that he wants to be private. I know he wants Tesla to be private, where he doesn't have to deal with the constant expectation of having your
Right,
stock on the high, the
right.
you know your margins perfect, everything perfect every time in the stock market moves. I know that's got to be stressful, and he's doing that with one of the biggest companies in the world. Like I can imagine, like he probably is like, I'm tired of the SEC. I'm tired of these. I can't say anything, because they'll think I'm pumping my stocks. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, to be that.
just to add to
Oh,
his,
yeah,
he 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 also has the Boring Company, which
yep,
transport. Let's not forget about that.
Yes.
And in addition to that, he also has Solar City. I don't know whether
Oh
he's
yeah.
still Solar City, which is real estate, basically. So just to piggyback on that, he basically has his
Yeah.
finger on nearly every single
Right.
aspect of our lives right now. So it's interesting to see where this is gonna go.
yeah,
Yeah, he's put onto so much on his plate. And something I just, I was watching one of his stuff, and how he talks about, which is pretty dope. I liked what he said, that he lived in one of the places where they manufacture the cars for like 3 years. So he said he understands every single aspect that goes into making that car. You know what I
Mm,
mean? So for such a person like him, that's a well-rounded, like he's a billionaire, but I mean that has nothing to do with it. But like his mental capacity to be able to do all of these types of things in a short amount of time, to go from SpaceX, because he knows what he's talking about when he talk about the thrusters and the pounds and the torque and how to build this. Like he's really inside this company. So now to know about the Tesla, to know about the SpaceX, to know a little bit about what's going on with the cryptocurrency now, to have a platform where actually he could express his mind and not have anybody tell him what is what, or what he can, or get a shadow ban. I mean, this guy is really, I mean, he's a genius. I mean, if you really
mm.
look at it, he is our modern day what do you call it, like from back
I
then, I
call,
would say,
I
what's his
call him,
name?
call him Tony Stark now. He's like
Tony
he's basically
Stark.
he's that. He's
You know
basically
what I
guy
mean? So yeah, exactly. So
eternity and
imagine
shit.
even that.
He's rich.
Imagine if he ends up getting into defense.
Yep.
I mean, he probably is already. We just don't know the contract that he actually has. With the Defense Department, and probably building some sky. Some putting those rockets in. A launcher or something. You never know, man.
No
And with
telling
this
what he's
guy,
taking up there.
yeah. And all you gotta do is charge it,
Yeah.
charge it.
Again, I don't remember for certain if he still owns Solar City, but I know he was involved. But one other thing that we even forgot to mention is the World Wide Web, the internet. Elon Musk has Starlink, which basically is he doesn't need to rely on any web 2.0 or
Yeah,
3.0 to communicate. So this guy is basically an alien, in a way. He 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 is in his own world out there. Like he wants to build it from the looks of things. He wants to build this world where he, you know, doesn't have any rules to abide by. Nobody telling him what. So that might be materializing sooner than in a way.
yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's coming.
Um,
It's literally unstoppable. Once if he gets that, like nobody can like really silence him. He can
yeah.
shut out the people he didn't want, on the platform. He can even, he can even pump up some crow. They'll help me buy my first Tesla.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
Absolutely.
it's crazy.
Mhm.
So we do have a question here. I'm just trying to make sure you got. Draw, you want to read this one off?
Let me do this. You mean about Elon Musk? I'm
Uh,
not.
it's about the Bitcoin price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So the question for today is: Bitcoin price is down. Should I be buying? Rule of thumb in investing, buy low, sell high.
That's right.
That's
there you
just
go.
the way that I look at it. When it's low, it's always a good opportunity. There are people that just have knee-jerk reactions. Right?
Hmm.
When things are going red, they just shake and then they sell. Right? They get nervous and they sell. But when things are low, historically, the stock market, unless the stock that you bought or unless the coin that you bought is that kind of a coin that, first of all, is not that stable, or if the company that you bought the stock is like in really, 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 shambles where there's a possibility of it going bankrupt. But if it's just one bad day, I don't really see why somebody should be too worried about selling, because it's just one day out of 100 years that are to come. There are so
Yeah,
many that are coming, and these stocks they just grow over time. And when you look at the stock market from way back, it's been a hockey stick. Although there are dents, right? There are low points and high points. So if you're that kind of a person that you have the time to constantly buy and sell, why not? That's very close to day trading. Some people want to do that, but again, for me, it's really not a good use of my time. When I put something in, I want to let it sit. I want to let it out. I want to see it basically grow over time.
Absolutely. And I could just tell y'all from this show, I know we've seen Bitcoin at 45,000 and it's at 39,000. And we've come back to another episode and it'd be up to 50. So, yeah, I'm going to say this is a good buy because I haven't really seen it below, 35 in a
Yeah.
couple. It's been a couple months, I would say. It's been
Hmm.
kind of hovering about 40, 45
Hmm.
and just doing this thing, going back and forth. So I would say, yeah, buy it while it's low.
Buy
Uh,
while
but put in what you can afford to lose. Don't throw the house at it.
exactly
Yeah. Um,
what you can afford to lose.
yeah.
Really.
I can say one thing about this, and to give you a better perspective, this is for the people who actually are in the stock business. Now, you want to look at a company like Berkshire Hathaway, I believe it's called, and that's through the CEO. I think he's still the CEO. What's his name? What's the guy's name from that company? It's like
Um,
at that point he was like the second most billionaire of
Yeah.
all people.
Profit.
yeah.
Warren
Warren.
Buffett.
Yeah.
So
Well,
now I want you to think about it in this terms like that. When you ask the question, is Bitcoin, even if it's going down, should you be buying or should you be investing? And I want you to think about it in terms of the stock market. And here we go. If you are into the stock market and you really not haven't dipped yourself into Bitcoin or any type of coin, is I want you to look about it at this stock that was so low at one point and gradually started going up, gradually started going up. Now I think this company was around the 1800s or something like that. Started it like way back when, but to right now, you got to look at it what the price is. It's I believe it's like almost half a million, like 400. I mean, a ridiculous number for one stock. Now, here's what I want you to put into perspective: is that even if it took that long, all you got to know is that it went up.
Yeah.
So even if you started 30 years ago, your money for sure doubled. You know what I mean? For sure, even in 30 years. So now I want you to think about it in Bitcoin term.
Yeah.
Even if it's high right now, for certain people and think like, oh man, it's I'm about to hop into Goliath and Six Flags. Don't think about it that way. Go ahead and start with $10, $100, whatever it is, and then gradually keep putting more money because people that are in this community really believe in Bitcoin and what's gonna do. People even believe in Dogecoin that's so low right now. It's the belief system, right? So when you look at Bitcoin, what's gonna do in the next 10 years is that you could double, maybe triple, quadruple your money because it's gonna keep going up. Don't worry about it going down. And just like Gerard said, buy low, sell high, go ahead and invest. I'm not a financial advisor, you know what I mean, but just do your research and what you think is gonna happen, But we are telling you because we've been gradually explaining this to you guys little by little on these episodes is that this is gonna continue to keep going up because even with the bumps and bruises, it just might just stay stagnant, but then boom, it just flies up, it shoots up. I mean, 20,000 could go in one day. It's possible. You know what I mean? So don't think about it, if it's going low, think about it as, how much could I gain from this in the long term? And that I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Just stock market, you have that specific stock that was low. Now it's at almost like 400,000, 500,000, and it's still gonna keep growing. You know what I mean? And same thing with Bitcoin. It might be a little high, but believe me, it's gonna get higher. It is gonna get higher. So might as well
right.
just jump on board.
Absolutely. And you guys, just another thing, like the Bitcoin again, you can purchase it like on the exchanges that we always show. I know we promote Crow and all these other coins, but you can stake Bitcoin on there as well. And just think about it: one Bitcoin's worth 39,000, and you're getting like 4 or 5% on it. You're getting a hefty amount of passive income while you waiting for it to moon up. Like your
Yeah.
coin, it doesn't just have to sit there. You can stake it on the platform and earn some
Yeah.
interest off of it.
Yep, I'm already staking Bitcoin on that. Talking about like Laura,
Yeah.
I didn't. I'm doing it with her, so
Oh yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that. So yes, I'm hop on board with that.
Yep.
Sure.
These are not just like slow investments. These things earn you passive income like crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, so you guys, I guess it's coming down to the end of the line here. Anything y'all want to say on the way out? Go ahead, Gerard.
Oh, as usual, just want to thank everybody that, keeps coming back, watching the episodes. Again, we would love to hear from you, what you think, comment, feedback, thoughts, again, we are here in the learning space, but we want to be able to know what other people what other people think about the cryptocurrency space, Bitcoin, investing, or staking, or DeFi, anything that you can share, blockchain. That's really what the conversation is all about. So just keep liking, sharing, and letting your friends know we are here, just like any average Joe, just to share knowledge about income. So until then, looking forward to connecting.
Thank you, Draw. Well said as always. Emilio, what you got for us here?
Man, yeah, man, same thing. I just want to thank everybody. You know what I mean? Everybody who's new to looking at the channel, everybody who's came back to look at our videos. I mean, we really appreciate you also because you have still stuck around. Please bring more people with you. The next thing is I want to thank Laura for coming in from our, our last episode. Thank you very much. There was some very valuable information that you brought in as far as like another company that we're able to invest just so that people could know that there's more than what we offer and what we talk about. Not offer, but what we talk about, what we know. You know what I mean? So that's pretty dope. And the next thing I want to thank you guys too, man, for taking out the time. You know what I mean, from your daily schedule and being able to be here. Just talking about this. You know, something that you guys see something value in it. So I appreciate you guys too for that. And man, just Hulk smash that. You know what I mean? Like button. You know what I mean? And let it ring. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's it.
Yes, sir.
That's
Absolutely.
it.
Thank you guys again for another episode of Creative Minds. Again, like, share, tell your friends. Also, if you guys got any ideas or videos that you guys want us to do or talk about any specific topics, just let us know and we'll make a video on it for sure. But again, we're
Definitely.
going to be out. Thank you guys for joining us again. It's Creative Minds. Y'all have a good night.
Ciao.
Peace.